We always talk about the sacred center and that this is where reality begins. And so when it gets down to it, this is the most important thing. And because of this fact that we all have this, things like powwows can really make you feel good. It don't matter what culture you come from. For one thing, the drum beat is steady, boom, 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 or a heartbeat when you're doing rabbit dancing, or nasloha when you go dum, 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 dum. No matter which drum beat it is, it's a steady beat. Yeah, it's a steady flow. So it's not any of this. Nothing like that. No belly dancing or. Oh shucks. Maybe some guys' bellies dance when they dance. Shoot. But that's not the kind of belly dancing I was referring to. Anyway, it's a slow, steady drum beat, and some people say that the drum has the heartbeat of Mother Earth, which is a beautiful thing to say. But in Lakota Star knowledge, it's something different. In Lakota Star knowledge, there was a bear who walked upright. His name was Hunum. It's a giant bear. And he wanted to become a member of this Wakantanka. That's why I was explaining that yesterday. Wakantanka does not mean God. It's an organization, of many people. Some of them are women. Some of them are men. There's one that has no gender, and there's another one that has both genders. It's like a hermaphrodite. And there's some animals and plants that are in this as well. Yeah, there's at least two Wakantanka organizations, and neither one is more powerful than the other. Neither one is the good one or the bad one. They're just different. They work differently, but they are here to help. Okay? Now, in the first one, a giant bear wanted to get in there, and so he enlisted the help of a man named Tatanka. Now, at this time, there were no humans. There were no buffalo people. Okay, they weren't on the earth yet. But what there was something called Pte Oyate, and these are creatures that resemble humans, but they're not human. And they lived under the earth. Okay, and one group comes out, they turn into humans. That's where we come from. They got into trouble, and we're about ready to be go extinct. And so the rest of them came out to help, and they transformed into the buffalo people. And from this story, we learned that, when we take buffalo, we're only supposed to take what we need. And for any animal we take for food or clothing, we're only supposed to take what we need, and we're supposed to use as much of that animal as possible. And then we give something back of ourselves. Yeah, and we apologize to those animal nations, but we vow to them that we will give something back from ourselves, and that we will honor that body. That we will use it as much as possible, as much of it as possible. So you don't cut its head off and hang it on the wall, is what I'm saying. Yeah. So before buffalo people came on the earth, these people were called Pte Oyate. They resembled humans, like as I said. Their leader was named Tatanka, one of their leaders. And this bear wanted to become a member of the Wakantaka organization. Then he thought, I'm gonna talk to this Tatanka and the bear. He always slept outside where the Wakantaka had their meetings, where he would pretend to sleep. What he was doing was he was learning their knowledge, and whenever they sang their songs, he learned them. So he got this idea to make drums and rattles, He he told this to Tatanka, the leader. Remember, this is not a buffalo yet, okay? It's there. And he taught him how to make the drum and rattle. So they made a whole bunch. And this bear told Tatanka. He said, if I teach you these songs, he said, um, maybe the Wakantanka will hear it, and they'll ask you, where did you learn those songs? Then they might be so impressed that they're going to ask you to be a member of their group. And then if they ask you, he said this to Tatanka, he said, if they ask you to join them, say that you'll only join you'll only join them if the bear can join. Yeah, because the bear taught these songs. So that was the plan. So they got all their drums and rattles made, and then they got everything ready, and then the bear said, okay, start singing. Yeah, so remember, this is under the ground. All right? So they have millions of drums down there. They're all beating in unison, and they start singing. The people are singing these songs. And a Wakia, which is a thunder being, heard this boom. And she thought it was another Wakia, because at that time there was only one. So she thought, there must be another Wakia, so she went looking for it. This is the thunder being. And she realized it was coming under the ground. So she went down there. She can do that, yeah? She went down there and she saw all these pte oyate sitting around drums and beating them, and some were shaking rattles and they were singing all these songs. And she was really impressed. And she waited till they were done. And when they got done singing, she spoke, and people were scared because this is a thunder being, yeah, and her voice is really powerful. And she said she was really impressed with what she saw. And see, what she does is she cleanses the earth. She cleanses, trouble away. So she said to the people, I bless your drums and I bless your rattles. And she said that whenever you feel sad, whenever you feel lonely, or even if you feel angry, so beat this drum and it'll cleanse the area and it'll make you feel good. Yeah? And if you don't have a drum and if you don't have a rattle, clap your hands in that rhythm. Yeah? So this is where that comes from. This is from Lakota Star Knowledge. So the drum has the healing power of Wakia to cleanse. That's the Lakota Star Knowledge perspective on the drum. Yeah? So that's why no matter what culture you come from, and you go to a powwow and you hear a drum group singing, it really makes you feel good. You don't even understand what they're saying, but the song makes you feel good. The drum makes you feel good. It's healing you. You don't have to speak Lakota to be healed in this way. Yeah? That's because it's dealing with the sacred center.